Okay, I'll hand it to you. Have your boy. I work at the White Mud Equine Center, and working with animals and even just working with plants, I find that I don't get any complaints or harsh judgments. I realized very quickly that horses are extraordinarily smart. In fact, way smarter than I had actually originally thought. What's the matter? You're looking all bashful. So I'm kind of like a jack of all trades. I either take out garbage or sweep, mop, or vacuum. I try to keep the place as clean as I possibly can.
Sean wanted to work with animals. He's a farm boy at heart, even though he lives in this apartment in the middle of the city. We kind of, did a long discovery with Sean, and close to his house is the White Mud Equine Center. And I went and did a tour there and looked at some of the things that they need to be done and talked to the director there. And they're kind, they're accepting. We wanted a place that was going to accept Sean for Sean.
Come on, bud.
Sean fits in very well. He's got a very quiet, calm demeanor, and he likes to take his time about things, and horses really like that. So he's not going to walk around and startle anybody. And all of us in the office, we tend to get a little bit hyper and a little bit excited when things happen. So Sean's kind of you better stay calm, Linda, because if I'm going and giving him instructions, he's kind of looking at me. I'm like, oh, and he'll just kind of help me slow down and be calm and carry on.
Sean was diagnosed as having a disorder under the autism spectrum umbrella. So he has high-functioning autism, and he was also diagnosed with, sort of tentatively, with childhood onset schizophrenia because he was hallucinating. He would have audio and visual hallucinations.
When I first found out, I had no idea what it meant. Actually, I thought it was related to artistry, to like artistic instead of autistic, but it didn't quite affect me until kids started pointing out the fact that I had troubles saying such, just anything in general, and I could make myself pretty socially awkward. But when my thoughts don't come out quite right, kind of like they are now, and I always got pointed out and laughed at or ridiculed for being different.
People would say I don't comprehend as well as I should. Don't think fast enough, I guess, for when people ask me questions, and I think I'll take a little time to think of the answers and stuff. When I was growing up, I got dumb pneumonia 7 times. The doctor told my parents not to, that I was going to die these 7 times. And I had it 8 times altogether. And I think that was burnt my brain cells out. So now meeting friends and stuff that's sort of, I can make friends, but then keeping them, I can't keep friends too long and stuff. Just one of the things that I do. I'm on social assistance right now, but I'm looking for work. My money situation is pretty tight. I just get from social services just barely enough just to cover my rent and my bills, and maybe $3 left over for food. I go pick the cans to make money to eat with. There's maybe 8 to 15 people a day goes up my alley picking cans. So I gotta go find a different place to pick bottles of cans from. Because a lot of can pickers, they'll really fight with you over a can, It's just that tough out there sometimes. I'll get maybe $3 a night during the week, and on the weekends it could go up to maybe $8 a night. You know, just depends on what night you go out and stuff. When I'm working, well, then I feel more better of myself there instead of now I feel like I'm just a bum when I'm not working and not doing nothing. But when I'm working, well, then I got a sense of purpose type of thing. Like I gotta get up for this and I gotta do this, and, you know. So it makes me feel a lot better when I'm working than when I'm not.
Terrance is a man who lives on his own. He lives in poverty. He's had trouble in the past finding employment because when he feels he's devalued from an employer, he's walked off the job. This has been an ongoing theme throughout his life, and that's because he hasn't had support in the past. I think with our support, we've talked about, instead of him walking off a job, that he can give us a call and we can talk to him about what happened. Or it's something that his employer can know ahead of time, and maybe he needs to take 15 minutes and then go back to it, even if it means working an extra 15 minutes at the end of the day. I think once he has a job and working full-time and not living in poverty and not having to worry about where his next meal is coming from, I think things will look really good for Terrance.
Now we can go in, bud. Gateway to me is, well, salvation for all the years that I've waited trying to get a job and always getting denied. Gateway definitely gave me a chance, and they looked past everything to help me get a job, because I remember the day that they phoned to tell me that they found a job for me, and I was extraordinarily happy at that point. And so was Mom. She was almost dancing with joy, and I was almost along the same lines too. I felt very happy, and I still love that job, and that was at least 2 years ago. That's what you're looking for, isn't it, bud? You're like, where's the hay? Where's the hay? I've felt insignificant for many, many, many years, and finally I feel like I have, a significant part in my life now, and I feel like I'm whole now, not like I have holes poked through me. I felt very hollow and very, and I didn't felt like I fit in, but now I do.
Terrance has been working 1 day a week at the Bonton Bakery, and we just found out that he's going to be working full-time there. So they really value him. He loves the work. He's talking about maybe one day he'd be able to apprentice to be a baker.
Terrance just surprises me all the time at how efficient he is, how quickly he gets the task, and how much he achieves in a day, and how quickly he's actually become quite important in this bakery.
I like to have a job that can keep me my mind, other than trying to think of suicide or stuff like this all the time. But it's to keep me motivated enough to work, and of course the money I'll help out quite a bit, you know. So both the supervisor and the owner, and tell me that I'm doing a good job and keep up the good work and stuff.
I know how it feels to watch a boy who is healthy, able-bodied, and nice, just wasting away, and I didn't know what to do.
When we first met Sean, him and his mom were in crisis. He wasn't leaving the apartment, and she was overwhelmed and stressed and didn't know what to do and didn't know where to find help because, again, he was someone with unmet needs.
Okay, fine.
I think since then things have gotten a lot better. They're very close, and they have each other and not a lot of other people in their lives. They don't have any family here. So they tend to be a little bit isolated. So I think this has opened up Sean's world, but it's also opened up his mom's world, because then she's not consumed by him sitting at home all day while she's at work and not doing anything, and maybe destructive behavior and things like that.
My worst nightmare for Sean would be that something happens to me and that he suddenly doesn't know what to do next. How will he deal with it? He has to be able to be all right once I'm not here. Because facing mortality that's real. Like, moms get old, and then moms die. And he needs to not be on the street. And that was what I was afraid of.